One, two, one, two, three.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a spectacular day. So, today we are going to talk about my Playbill Haul. Okay, so I have a lot of playbills and I have seen a lot of theater. Now this specifically is just my Broadway collection of playbills or any of the shows that I've seen in New York, but I have tons of playbills from regional theater and national tours and all the shows that I've seen over the course of the years, but I figured I'd just show you some Broadway playbills. I love theater, I love Broadway, I love New York. I love collecting. I think that collecting these playbills brings me back to the exact moment of when I saw the show. And the thing that I love about theater specifically is it's an event. You have an experience, right? You're immersed in the live performance. The theater sometimes is completely transformed. I just love theater so much, and so I've been collecting these for years, and it's really nice. I store them in these really nice Playbill binders that you can buy on playbill.com, and they come in the little slip cases so you can keep them protected. And I am so excited to share all my playbills with you. So first we have the first show I ever saw, Annie Get Your Gun. I think I was 3 or 4, and my dad took me to see Annie Get Your Gun. And the one thing that I remember about this show in particular is, you know the song, "Anything you can do, I can do better." So she sang that song, Bernadette Peters, and she was singing the section where it said, "And you know you can hold, I can hold longer." And she held her note for, I want to say, what felt like an hour to the 4-year-old, probably 60 seconds, but I was in awe. And it was the first moment where I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so amazing if I got to be up there? So this is the show that really got me wanting to do theater as a profession. Let's go down this way. Then we've got 42nd Street. I don't remember seeing 42nd Street because I was still young, but it's a classic and I'd love for it to come back so I can either be in it or see it again. We have, oh, this one's one of my favorites. I think Moving Out. Amazing show, amazing dancing. I wonder if Lisa Guida was in this when I saw it. It's really cool to look back at your playbills and be like, oh my gosh, I know that person now, which is amazing. Moving Out is an amazing show. I had a great time. The dancing is phenomenal, and it's one of those shows where you can really appreciate the ensemble and the dancing, which I feel like sometimes the ensemble doesn't get enough credit for all that they do and all that they bring to a show. Another great one is Beautiful. I love these musicals. I know some people think that they're corny. I loved Beautiful. I loved Jessie Mueller. I thought she did an amazing job. I love Carole King's music, so I had a really good time at this show. I've seen it a couple of times. Another fun one we've gotta love, Legally Blonde. I have a good story about Legally Blonde that I'll tell you in a separate video, but so much fun. This I thought was a very good movie to musical adaptation. Very, very fun time. This one is a great one, especially for tap dancers. Stomp, such a good show. I don't know if it's still running. I think it's still running. So Stomp is such a fun time. Then we've got another fun night at the theater, The Wedding Singer. Again, it's kind of the pipe. The pipes, the pipes. That's from On the Town, right? Wedding Singer is another fun one, another good night at the theater. The cool thing about most of these shows is that I was lucky enough to see the original Broadway cast, which is amazing. Not to say that replacements aren't as good all the time. They're just as good. It's just fun to see the person who sort of created the role, so this was a good time with Laura Benanti. Another fun one, a fun night at the theater, is Hairspray. I got to do Hairspray at a community theater, and I got to play Penny. I love Hairspray. This is such a fun show to be in. The night that we saw Hairspray, if you know Tracy's dad, he's sort of like an inventor, and he comes up with like creative gadgets, and the thing that he invented ended up breaking, like the set piece ended up breaking, and so Tracy's dad and Tracy's mom ended up ad-libbing the whole time. What felt like, again, 3 hours, but it was probably 2 minutes. But you know, in theater time, when something goes wrong, it seems like forever. So this was really funny because they ended up ad-libbing, and it was just, they were talking about nonsense, which was awesome. Another fun night at the theater was Jersey Boys. This was a really fun experience. My dad, who grew up in the 50s, he sang on the street corner just like the Four Seasons, so he loves this music. He loved this show. We went to go see it with our good friend Jacqueline Hogerby, and then my dad surprised us, and we took a limo home, and we played the CD in the car, and we were just singing Jersey Boys, and we got to meet the four guys who were the main characters, and this was just a really, really fun night. Another fun show with the car, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, you chitty chitty bang bang. This was a fun time. A really good set with this show. And of course, everybody thinks it's corny, but I still think it's a classic. Wicked. I remember this was a really amazing night. My dad, we were at home in New Jersey, and he was like, you know what, let's go to New York and try to go see a Broadway show. He was very spur of the moment. And we went, my dad, my sister, and I. He put us in line while he went to go park the car. We were waiting online. Remember when you could do the lottery in person? It wasn't online. And my sister won the lottery. We sat front row for the original Broadway cast of Wicked, and my dad scalped the ticket and he sat in back, and it was amazing. Seeing this show front row is a wild experience, and I actually have another playbill because I went and saw it again when I started auditioning for it. But I think Wicked's a classic. There are so many amazing Elphabas and so many amazing Glindas, and so I always love Wicked. And then you can't have Broadway without the Phantom of the Opera. So I saw Phantom a long time ago, and I don't have that playbill, but we went back to see it again recently because Norm Lewis and Sierra Boggess were in it, and they're spectacular, and I love them. So this was a really good time. Another classic. We saw the revival of West Side Story with Karen Olivo, and this was amazing. The set when the gate came down for the big rumble was unbelievable. I think my friend Marina was in this. I wonder if she's in here. My friend Marina, who I just toured with, she was in this. It's really cool once you start doing shows and you look back at all your playbills and see that you saw your friends but you didn't know them yet. So West Side Story is a classic, and I love this show. I haven't seen the new version yet. We've got another fun night at the theater, In the Heights. We got to see the original cast of In the Heights before it got really popular and won all the Tonys. Again, another really, really fun night. I saw this in high school. Amazing. This was a fun show. Curtains. I think Marianne Lamb was in this. Curtains was a really fun time. Good show. I love that show. Classic South Pacific. We saw this at Lincoln Center, and I think we saw it with Kelly O'Hara. Unbelievable. Unbelievable set. Unbelievable orchestra. Kelly O'Hara is stunning. Love her. Probably the funniest show ever. The producers. I didn't see the original cast of this, but I ended up getting to work with a lot of the original cast when I did it at Paper Mill. I love this show. It's hilarious. So funny. So fun to be in. I've gotten to do this show twice, and it was really exciting to see it on Broadway. I wonder if Dawn Stevenson, if you're watching YouTube, I wonder if you were in it when I saw it. Oh, Madeline. So Madeline was in it. I did it with Madeline. Oh, John Tracy Egan. I did it with him at Paper Mill. He was Max Bialystock. Hunter Foster was Leo Bloom. Who else? I bet you Naomi's in here. Jimmy Borstelman. Love you, Jimmy. He probably doesn't watch YouTube, but we did a crazy off-Broadway show together. So funny. I think that's it. So everybody I talked to really dislikes this show, but I don't know what it was about that summer, but I loved this show, and I loved the music. Again, taking the music from a singer and putting it on the stage. All shook up. I thought the set was unbelievable. Cheyenne Jackson's awesome, and I just loved it. I thought it was hysterical. We saw this show 5 times. It was so good, and I think it's because my dad loves the 50s and loves Elvis, so we had a really good time. This is a family experience memory. We took a lot of our friends to see this show, so it has a special place in my heart because it reminds me of family, so I love this show. Of course, how can you see Broadway and not see I Had a Dream? We saw Gypsy. This was at a point in my life where I was weirdly obsessed, almost badly obsessed with Patti Lupone, and I worshipped her. And we saw this on Broadway. We sat on the aisle where she comes down in the aisle, and I had a panic attack when she came down. And really funny story, someone you know, that I know, that you know, was in this, and I told him that I didn't watch him for a single second, but yeah, he told me this on our first date, that he was in the show. I don't know if you can see this. John Scachetti. So my boyfriend John was in Gypsy, and also our roommate Sarah Hicks, and for a fun addition, Nancy Braun. So this is a really special show to me because I love this show. I love everybody in it, and it makes it extra special that my two roommates were also in it. And yeah, Gypsy, special place in my heart. One thing I loved about college is that we didn't really go see musicals a lot. We saw a lot of plays, and I feel like plays don't get the credit that they deserve. Musicals are more mainstream, but I love plays, and I prefer to see plays more. I love musicals, but you really get some really, really great acting when you go see plays. So in college, we saw A Midsummer Night's Dream. I think this was at BAM in Brooklyn. If anybody knows from my videos in the background, I love Harry Potter. It was really fun to go see Daniel Radcliffe and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. This was so fun, and I love Daniel Radcliffe, and I was excited for him that he was trying to get away from Harry Potter, because I know you could be stuck in that character, so it was fun to see him outside of his comfort zone doing a musical. We've got another obsession of mine. I love Sutton Foster. We saw Anything Goes, which was unbelievable and amazing. And this was the original cast, so it was Sutton and Joel Grey, and I just love this show. I love tap dancing. The set was amazing. Everybody was amazing in this. Another play from college that I really loved, La Bête. This was a really, really good play. I saw this when I was younger, Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, and this show was very magical. I remember being in awe of the transformation when the Beast changes to the prince at the end. Just so magical, and another moment where I was like, yeah, it would be really cool to be on stage like them. What do we got? Oh, this was a really fun experience. So this was the summer I turned 21, and I was doing the Larry Singer Summer Conservatory. Love you, Larry. And for my birthday, we went to go see Once on Broadway, and the cool thing about Once is that you can get a drink on the stage. So for my 21st birthday, I drank on a Broadway stage. I've got another Wicked playbill. Any Casey Levy fans out there, we've got Ghost the Musical. Really good show. She's a spectacular singer, and I really just love her voice. So Ghost was a really fun time. This is from Lincoln Center. We went to go see our friends in the concert version of Crazy for You, which I was really hoping would come back to Broadway, but maybe a post-pandemic. But this was such a fun time. A lot of people came back to the show, so it was also really fun to see so many friends on stage. This show has a very special place in my heart, A Bronx Tale. My friend Wanu, I think this was her debut. Wanu, was this your debut? My friend Wanu from high school made her Broadway debut, I'm pretty sure, in A Bronx Tale. She was the swing, and she covered Ariana DeBose. And so I saw it twice. I saw it when she was on as a swing, and I saw it when she went on for the lead. And I also think I have a signed copy of this. Yeah, I have a signed copy of this with Nick Cordero's signature, the late Nick Cordero. So this is really special because I got to meet him, and this was really special to see a close friend of mine making her Broadway debut in both the swing and the lead. So this has a really special memory in my heart. Of course, we've got Hello, Dolly. This show was spectacular. I saw it with Bette Midler and Bernadette Peters. Just a great, great time at the theater. We've got Holiday Inn. This is another show that holds a special place in my heart because, again, I had friends in it. So it's really cool when you start to audition and get into the New York theater community and you get to see and celebrate your friends on Broadway. So this was a really fun time, a date night for John and I. Of course, you have Jellicle Cats, Jellicle, songs for Jellicle Cats. This was the revival. We saw the revival, 2015, 16, 2016. I saw it with the original cast, which I didn't know anybody in that cast, but all my friends booked it when everybody left. So I didn't get to see it with my friends in it, but of course, a classic Cats. This was such a fun show, and I'm so sad it didn't run longer. Dames at Sea. Man, I love old-time tap dance musicals, and I think that there should be more of them. This was so much fun. Our good friend Danny Gardner was in it. Leslie Margarita is hysterical. Hysterical. A classic Randy Skinner. This was a really fun time. City Center. What did we see at City Center? Oh, we saw, this was a birthday present too. We saw Sutton Foster in Wild Party. This was really, really fun. I remember this night too, something happened with the curtain and the curtain got stuck and they kept singing through it. I know it's hysterical, but if you're a theater person and you've been on stage, you can relate to how hilarious it is when a set piece doesn't work. So I just love that kind of stuff. It's really fun. This was a really fun time. Something Rotten, Christian Boyle. So funny, such a fun time. John's really good friend Beth Nicely was in this, and this is just like a classic funny Broadway theater show. This, honestly, I think hands down, 100% hands down, was my favorite show of all time. If you haven't seen Shuffle Along, you should Google the like highlights of it. This show was unbelievable. The choreography, the caliber of talent, the people in this show, it was just the best show I've ever seen, and I was devastated to hear that it closed. This should have been running for years. Also, a funny note, my sister loves Audra McDonald, and my sister, she had surgery on her foot, and she was in a boot where you have to like scoot around, and I got her tickets, and she crawled up the stairs to sit in the balcony, and then we went backstage because John had some friends in it, and Becca got to meet Audra and Billy Porter and everybody, and it was just a hilarious evening. But this, honestly, I think, looking down right now, I think this is my #1 favorite show that I've seen ever. Then we've got The Beautiful American in Paris. My college roommate, Danny Schwartz, and I, we gift each other with Broadway shows all the time for Christmas or for birthdays. And so this was our girls' night out. We saw American in Paris. I bet you some of my friends from Cats were in this if I opened the Playbill. Shout out to my girls from American in Paris. This was an amazing show. Fiddler on the Roof, the revival. I thought it was fantastic. Also, Fiddler's just a great show, but we had a great time. John and I did a date night, and we had a great time at Fiddler. This is another show that I think people didn't like, but I loved. Honeymoon in Vegas. Hilarious. This show was amazing. Rob McClure is so funny. I thought that the set and the costumes were phenomenal. This is another one that I am sad that closed, you know? Okay, let's go this way. We've got On the Town. On the Town was so much fun. The Lyric Theater. Again, this is a show where I feel like the dancers were finally appreciated. The ensemble was finally appreciated. This is a huge ensemble show, and I feel like ensembles in all musicals don't get the credit that they I think that ensembles in all shows don't get the credit that I feel like ensembles in Broadway shows don't get the credit that they deserve. So this was such a fun time. I went to see Matilda when I was auditioning for the tour. Love this show. Again, Leslie Margarita, you are, if you're watching this somewhere, you're a star. Hilarious. So fun. Gigi was such a fun night. The set was amazing. Corey Cott was amazing. I love that show. Bullets Over Broadway is another one. I saw it with the late Nick Cordero. This was such a fun time. I love Stroman. I think that she does a great job at her style of directing. Another Sutton Foster show that I absolutely love, Violet. Love this show. I loved how Sutton sort of broke down the barrier, and she went with no makeup, and she it was just, you know, Sutton on stage with her power and her singing and her dancing. Not dancing, her acting and her singing. Amazing. Bandstand. We saw this, I think we saw this in previews. Bandstand, another great Annie Blankenbuehler show. This one, particularly for the choreography, was great. And then, of course, the classic Alexander Hamilton. So I really never thought that I would see Hamilton because I couldn't afford a ticket, and the in-person lottery was insane. So I sort of just like let it go. But again, my friend Danny from college, she got tickets, and then she ended up not being able to go. So I got the tickets from her, and John and I sat like 14th row center. We got to see a special show because Manny Gonzalez played Angelica Schuyler and Brian Darcy James played King George, which was hysterical. My sister was very lucky. Right when Hamilton started doing their lottery, she won front row lottery tickets to the original company of Hamilton before it got crazy. So that's crazy. But Hamilton, amazing. We had a really good friend of ours, Eric, in School of Rock. He was Dewey Finn, so we went to go see this. Amazing. Those kids are unbelievable, and I don't know how Eric did it every night with all that energy. So much fun. War Paint, another show. We went to go see this because of Patti, and John took us backstage to meet Patti Lupone, and I remember my dad was freaking out because she was like, Johnny, how you doing? Because they did Gypsy together. So that was a special evening because we got to talk to Patti. Another college date night with my roommate Danny and I. We went to go see Kinky Boots. So much fun. Love Kinky Boots. Another Hello Dolly because I saw it with both Bernadette and Bette Midler. Of course, SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, so we've come to the first show that I didn't love. And I don't know why. I don't know why. We saw Hello Dolly in the afternoon, so maybe it was just because they were two completely different shows. but it wasn't my favorite. I appreciate the set and I appreciate like what they tried to do with the music, but this is probably just one that I wouldn't go see again. This, however, was a crazy experience. I don't know if anybody saw The Great Comet. I loved this show. Again, another hard-working ensemble members who don't get as much credit as they deserve. I really think we need a ensemble Tony Award. This was so much fun, such an amazing immersive experience. Loved this. This honestly was the last show that I saw before COVID because Caitlin Davidson, my Saint Jellerica from Cats, was in Unsinkable Molly Brown. And Carrie Fuller and I, who played Grisabella, we went to go see this, and this was a really fun night before everything shut down. We saw Smokey Joe's Cafe at the Stage 42 on 42nd Street off Broadway. Such a fun show. I love this show. The Kennedy Center. Oh, this is my Cats playbill from the Kennedy Center. I've got 2 other playbills on the wall I'll show you at the end, which are shows that I did, but this is from the Kennedy Center, which is super special and a bucket list for me to perform at. We went to go see Head Over Heels because I work for Julie Boardman, who is the producer, one of the producers of Head Over Heels. Such a fun night. Another show that I feel like should have ran a little longer. We've got Donna Summer, again, because my really good friend Wanu, who was in A Bronx Tale, also covered Ariana DeBose in this, and we got to see Wanu play Donna Summer, which I just cried the entire time. I was so proud. It's so amazing to see your friends starring in a musical. I just beam with pride. So exciting. And then we have to talk about this. We have to talk about it. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was probably the most spectacular theatrical experience of my life. Not just because I'm a Harry Potter fan, but like they completely transformed the theater. Things flew all over the place. The whole theater lit up. It was the most magical evening, and I would go and pay money and see the show 100,000 more times. Again, a play, right? So I just, the most amazing time, and I have to go back once everything opens up. I'd also love to go see it in London, but I got to see the London company in New York, which is really special. The actor that played Scorpius, phenomenal. My last 2 playbills are on my wall because I framed them. The first is my off-Broadway debut, Attack of the Elvis Impersonators. If you know, you know. And then Cats National Tour. I love these 2 because they are the Pride playbills, so they're really special to me. And those are my last 2 playbills. Yeah, so that's my playbill collection. I think I have some more, but maybe they got lost before I started collecting. And because I was on tour for the last couple of years, I hadn't seen as much theater, anything new or anything. I have a bucket list of shows that I want to see when Broadway comes back. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this haul. If you have any questions about playbills or Broadway or just anything related to theater, please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. It'll really support my channel. And that's all, folks. Broadway, Broadway. That's from Gypsy. How great you are. I'll leave the farm with all its charm to be a Broadway star.